Hi guys, welcome to the video. So we're on episode 12 now of Star Trek Discovery. We've got one more episode left after this, so we're nearly there. I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for everybody who has hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, then please give that subscribe button a good smash. It would really help me out, and like the video. So this episode was I didn't have much opportunity to write notes, to be fair, because so much was going on. I couldn't keep up. I would have had to have paused it several times just to note down everything that was going on. So I'm going to give you a rough breakdown of the episode. Again, not an awful lot happened, but what did happen, I laughed out loud several times because it was just so ridiculous. Okay, so the episode opens and we have a close-up of everybody's eyes as they're staring at this hyperfield. I'm sure that was what it was. It's like this big orb that I referenced in my previous video, and it's got all these weird patterns etched on it. You can't really tell anything that's going on in this episode. You can't really tell anything that's going on in this entire series because they don't show you much. They just show you some close-up and expect you to know what the hell it is. They don't describe it very well either. They have a close-up of everybody's eyes, okay? Eyes, 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 eyes. Everyone's staring at this thing in absolute awe. So Discovery has had a chance to try and decipher all the different emotions that translates into the molecules and the language and everything. Okay. They've got them all on display and they look like this, a giant bubble rainbow. So they're trying to determine what emotions sort of fit what, you know, they're trying to decode it, basically. It cuts to engineering, and Zora wishes to talk to someone about her feelings or about something that's bothering her. Stamets is busy preparing the dots who are going to go and do something. These little dots, robots, they call them dots. I don't know why they call them dots, but they call them dots, and they're going to go tap the surface with, or spray paint the surface, or do something to the surface of this giant metallic bubble that's roughly the size of our solar system out to Mars, from the sun to Mars or something like that. She wants to talk about her feelings and she wants to talk about something that's bothering her. Stamets says, oh, okay, yeah, no worries, just give me a minute. Maybe you need to talk to the doctor. Tucker and Book are still attached to the underside of Discovery, and they've got Jet Reno, my absolute favourite character of all time. No, I'm kidding. She's not my absolute favourite character of all time. She's not overly obnoxious in this. I did get some feedback from people said I actually like Jet Reno, and I mean that's fair enough. If you like Jet Reno, that's absolutely fine. She's not my cup of tea, as I'm probably not a lot of people's cup of tea. But she's still hostage on Book and Tarka's ship. She basically goes, "Look, can I have some licorice, please?" She's pulling out this communicator type thing. Looks like some kind of emblem, but I think it's a communicator. Book passes her some licorice and she just starts eating it. I mean, she's you could see it coming. She was going to try and talk Book down. Discovery goes ahead with their plan for the dots to spray paint, and they start spray painting the surface of this with feelings, I suppose. Tarka and Book are watching what happens. As the dots are spray painting, this anti-graffiti bubble type thing from like the abyss, you know, it comes out and it envelops all of the dots. They're like, oh crap, excuse me, those are my dots, they're ours. They realise, oh crap, this is going to pull us in too. So they turn the ship around and start trying to get out of there. They engage the warp drive, but this bubble just envelops the ship and pulls it in. So now they're inside this giant patterned bubble thing, metallic oval type, whatever the damn thing is, they're inside it anyway. Reno's going, that's interesting. They're inside it. We're inside it now. Book's like, I don't know what the hell is going on. All I care about is Michael safe? Yeah, I'm going to communicate with the Earth President lady and find out if Michael's okay. So he goes, well, what's going on? And she goes, well, we've been pulled in quite clearly. And he goes, okay. Is Michael all right? Is she okay? This Earth President is obviously working behind everyone's back, feeding them information. I'll get to that in a moment. Taka does some calculations and realizes that his plan is going to be very bad for the overall situation, but he's going to do it anyway. Jet Reno sees his calculations, knows that, oh bugger, this could bugger everything up. That's going to be massive, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm Mr. Bad Guy. She pulls out the communicator and she puts the licorice that she's eating inside the communicator because licorice provides power. I have no idea if that's true. Could be. It could be just one of those things that happens like powering a clock from a potato. I don't know. It's just so sad Star Trek's come to this. Zora is talking to Culber and saying there's something on my mind. I don't know what it is. I have no idea, but you know, I'm a bit confused. And Culber goes, well, why don't we play that trill game? That seems to calm you down, and then we can have a proper conversation. The diplomatic team are trying to figure out how best to talk to 10C, how best to communicate with them, yada yada yada. It goes on and on and on. There's a lot of pointless chatter, but I'll tell you now, there are some absolute bangers in this episode. They come out with some absolute gold in terms of just the certain phrases that they use. Reno is talking to Buck saying, hey look, this guy, you know, you ask him, he's going to blow everyone up. He knows what he's doing and you can't trust him. And Buck goes like, well, you know what, I do trust him because I'm stupid. And it wouldn't be a Discovery episode without a tragic backstory, and it's Reno's turn. So Reno's got a tragic backstory. She had a wife and she died. She was on a mission with an ensign who suffered like 20,000 degree burns or something, I don't know. And she was keeping him alive for 11 hours. Took him 11 hours to die. She was replicating new skin for him, and the only reason she tried to keep him alive for so long is that his eyes were the same colour as his wife. Yeah, a loss, but hey ho. This show is so hard to follow. It can't take itself seriously, surely. And I got this screen grab, and I absolutely loved it. So I just thought I'd put it in there just for fun. So it's time to go and talk to the 10C. The 10C are focusing around the shuttle bay because, I don't know, maybe it's just the biggest opening in the ship. Who knows? And the diplomatic team, they power walk towards it because, of course, why wouldn't they? It starts to go orange. So they're going, oh, okay, they're going to start talking to us soon. And Booker's going, oh my God, did you see that, Taka? It's turned orange. Vulcan lady's like, oh, I like orange. And the doctor, he's a doctor, not an admiral. I do apologise for previous video. The doctor's just like, ah, yes, it is orange. President lady's like, have you not seen orange before? Orange is a colour. My top's orange, by the way. Looks red, but it's orange. So the doctor tries to start communicating with it, and it turns out that the 10C, they're currently sort of, all the emotions are amalgamated into one. I mean, this is me trying to get through their explanation of it. So the emotion of anger is all that they're feeling right now because they're focused on it for some odd reason. So they realise that they've got to try and use these emotional molecule type things, the feeling molecules, to communicate with him. And no word of a lie, this is okay. When you pay homage to something, okay, you're referencing it to honour it and to say this was a great piece of work. We're using it in our story, but in a very small way. But it goes right to Close Encounters, okay. I expected to hear that dun 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 dun. So the 10C are communicating with light bursts. Okay, so you know, Discovery realised that they've got to ping some light back in the right language, of course. The Earth president, she's not impressed. Clearly, she's just like, oh yeah, whatever. And I was pretty much the same. Oh yeah, whatever. And I don't know what it is about Discovery, but they can't afford a Steadicam unit because it's literally like they're walking around the set with the camera, and it's just so jarring. There's another epileptic fit-inducing segment where they seem to like to pan very quickly across, so all the lights on the bridge stream, so they pan from person to person like that, and fucking fucking annoying. Tarka and Book are talking to the Earth president, who, by the way, is in the cargo bay, slips out. Nobody notices, nobody questions. They're like, she might as well have just gone for a piss. It's just like she's snuck off. And Tarka and Book are like, right, okay, look, you've got to discharge the plasma from the nacelles. It'll punch a hole into the outside of this patterned wall thing, and we can get out and then go after the controller. I'm thinking, well, where's the DMA controller? If it's not inside, where is it? So I don't think this show knows where it's coming or going. There's one thing that the president lady says. He says, Tarka and Book say, oh, we need you to do this. We need you to essentially take action, use Discovery to punch this hole through. And she's going, no word of a lie. She says, feeding you information is one thing, but this is a betrayal. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. So you're feeding information to the enemy because Tarka and Book at this point are the enemy. You're feeding them information, but you don't see that as a betrayal. But you venting plasma from the nacelles in order to help them escape, you see that as a betrayal. The fucking moral code of this show is so skewed. It's fucking unbelievable. And the Earth president's like, fine, I'll fucking do it. Whatever. Because she just doesn't know what she's doing. We go back to the shuttle bay. Burnham's having a confab with everybody. Right, how do we respond to these light signals correctly? Burnham goes, you know what? There's not enough of us here. I need my posse. I need my bridge crew. So she invites the bridge crew down. Yeah, all the commander no names or commander not gonna learn your name. They have this little segment where they have an input and then they fuck off. They come in, they go, yeah, well, what if we do this? Well, yeah, well, what if we do that? I mean, staff briefings are fine, but they call him down to the shuttle bay to say a few words. You have a bit of an input. You know, you got the replacement guy for Bryce, you got Blondie, and you've got Detmer, and they're all standing around this hollow image of the rainbow molecules, I'll call them. And they have their input, and of course they help, and then they just go. They just go. And Burnham's like, oh, thank you so much. Bye. Fuck off. Oh my god. So they assign language, they assign letters to the different molecules, and it's all really stupid. It just doesn't, for me, it doesn't work. They basically discover a way to communicate with them, and it's all really long-winded. It's like, this is the penultimate episode of this season, and you're taking all this time to explain meaningless bollocks that you've just made up that doesn't make any fucking sense. But the key is they've discovered how to talk to species 10C. And what I find really annoying is that we don't actually see 10C, the species, not in this episode. But what you do see is a hollow display with the species 10C, and they look like giant cockroaches in space, I suppose. I may have got a still of it, I may have not have, but the Discovery crew can see what's going on, but the audience can't. What's the deal with that? The audience can't see what's going on. So Booker confronts Tarka and says, hey, you know what? You're going to kill everybody doing this. I'm not allowing you to do it. Tarka goes, no. I'm smarter than you. I think this is going to work, and there's a small price to pay. Booker goes, get off my ship. And Tarka goes, no, I'm not going to do that. And Booker goes, what do you mean you're not going to do it? Get off my ship. He goes to attack Tarka, and Tarka's got this energy field around him and launches Book across his own ship. Cuts back to Discovery. They're talking to 10C. 10C are blinking their lights, and Discovery is blinking the lights back. 10C send a pod. Doors appear on this pod, and they go, we should get in there. It's clearly an invite to come and talk. So it cuts back to Tarka and Book, and Book's just being flung around his own ship because he can't learn. He's going back to Tarka, trying to hit him, trying to fire his weapon at him, and he just gets flung across the fucking bridge of his ship. Okay, Reno's like, yeah, I've made him a communicator. Book gets floored. Tarka puts him in the same jail cell as Reno. Reno goes, welcome to my cell. How do you like it? And Book goes, "Oh, don't, I've got a headache." Tarka goes, "Look, I've got to do this." Reno goes, "No, you don't." And Tarka goes, "Yeah, I do." Crew of the Discovery decide who's going to go in the pod. It's Burnham, the President, Saru. And there was one line issued by the Earth President, okay? And she says, "This is so nonsensical." And at that point, I just burst out laughing. I thought, what a belter that is. Is this show conscious of itself in some way? Yeah, it's absolutely nonsensical. I completely agree. The entire episode was nonsensical. So we cut back. There was one scene, I'm digressing a bit here, out of sync, but there was one scene where they're going back and forth with 10C, and they decide to copy what 10C have sent them, so they decide to send it back. I mean, it's been done a couple of times in Star Trek, but the one thing that did make me laugh is I thought, what if 10C are saying, "Oi, you fuck off," and Discovery send that signal back, which basically translates to, "No, you fuck off." And 10C go, no, you fuck off. 10C could be saying, "You're an idiot." Discovery could be saying it back. They just don't know. There's no way to know before they discover the language. Anyway, enough about that. But it cuts to a scene where Burnham has borrowed Saru, and she's going, "I'm so scared. I feel like things are slipping out of my fingers." It's like, well, where's this come from? You've not emoted that at any point during this episode. And Saru goes, "Mr. Tarka taught me something. It's a little unorthodox, but I think it might help." And she goes, "Well, what's that?" And he goes, "Yelling or screaming or shouting." Burnham goes, "Okay." He just yells, "Roar!" And the look on Burnham's face was pretty much mirrored the look on my face, thinking, I can't believe we come back to this. Burnham decides to give it a go, and oh god, I nearly fell off my chair. It was started off as this, oh, and then just got higher and higher, and they both fall about laughing. Yeah, Burnham has to be told by Saru to let off some steam and scream, and they have a good hug. They hug it out. Meanwhile, the crew can't find Jack Reno. They're like, "Where's Reno?" Zora says she's in engineering, but I've been here all day. I've not seen Reno anywhere. Anyway, they find a comm badge, because that's a classic Trek trope, okay? Computer, where's Mr. O'Brien? Mr. O'Brien is on docking pylon C. They go to docking pylon C and they find his comm badge. It's a classic trope. Apparently, it's been programmed to emit her biometric data. Tarka did something to it before he left the ship. So they can't find Reno. Saru and the Vulcan lady's been a bit snippy with Saru. She says, I'm not used to being on dangerous missions with people so close. That's why I can't get close to people. And they're having this conversation, and this ensign just beams in, just pops straight in. And I'm thinking, that technology is so rude, just straight in. It's like the Q continuum. It's just rude. So they get onto the bubble thing, and the bubble thing with doors, and it cuts to the doors opening, and they end up on the bridge of Discovery, which again, classic Star Trek trope, I suppose. It's to save budget, but they put it as, well, we wanted you to feel something familiar and everything. The 10C bit showed them this warhead that was used to destroy the DMA. The away team, they say, if we communicate the DMA, with the shape of the DMA, the DMA causes fear amongst us. That might start developing. They might actually stop and think, hang on a minute, we're scaring people with this. And it's a start. Meanwhile, of course, Tarka's implementing this plan whilst the away team is with the 10C, starting to make some kind of headway. And of course, Tarka implements his plan, and everything goes south. Basically, get beamed back to Discovery. And Reno, she's managed to make the communicator thing work with the power of licorice. She manages to get in touch with Discovery and say, look, Tarka's done this. He's going to destroy everything. You've got to stop us. And that's it. That's the end of the episode. penultimate episode of this season-long build-up to trying to discover what the 10C are, and I can guarantee you it's going to be the fact that the 10C didn't know what they were doing, they weren't aware, and it's copying the same same story as the burn. Okay, it's someone who didn't know how powerful they were and didn't know how their actions would affect everybody else. You know, you had the Kelpian who got his fifis hurt and ended up destroying all the dilithium in the galaxy and causing just absolute chaos. And now you've got this species outside the galaxy who don't know what they're doing. They're just repeating the same fucking thing over and over again. This show is shit. Absolute bullshit. This is unoriginal writing. It's so nonsensical and it's so repetitive and it's so simple. They try and overcomplicate it with, you know, cool sounding words. Now, Star Trek has always done this. Star Trek has always tried, you know, the technobabble, but it always made sense. None of this makes any bloody sense. So that's Discovery Season 4, Episode 12. That's my review of it. It's just absolutely ridiculous. We're not really any closer to seeing what this species is or why they're doing anything. And like I said, I just think they're copying the previous season and they've just made the spectacle bigger. You can't see anything. There's no detail to anything. It is literally just everything's close up. All close-ups on faces and everything is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe we've got one episode to go. Stick with me. I'm going to do the final episode and then I'm done with Discovery for now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's not one of my usual tirades or usual rants because, to be quite honest with you, all the things I could find to, you know, have a good old moan about, there was just too much. It all happened so quickly. I couldn't actually get most of it down. I've given you a rough breakdown of the episode, but it was just absolute horseshit. We all knew Tarka and Book were going to be the problem, that they ruin everything at the last minute. It's completely unoriginal and it's stupid. So yeah, that's my video. That's my breakdown. And thank you for staying with me. And hopefully next week will be the final episode and we'll have made it to the finish. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, hit that subscribe button and give the video a like as well. And I will see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye for now. I need the silence, stop the violence of the war in my head. Time's the healer, the eraser of all done and said. And as I fall back to my shelter,